10% on everything that comes in. If we'd have done that, we'd at least pay to fix our roads with all that stuff that came from China. We're not even smart enough to do that because it might slow the sales down a little bit. We got to get back and start thinking what's good for the mass of the people, not that handful we call it. It's not even 1%. It's like 1/8% that really run the place. And 20 seconds. And on the other side, you can't keep the same monopolies going to say, I need 59% for schools. And the schools that we have would be a heck of a lot better if they were competitive. If your kids could go to good, safe schools of their choice, I think all schools would get better. So monopolies don't work, and the good old American spirit of inventiveness, creativeness, that's what made the country. And life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And happiness isn't partying. Happiness is letting your kids know that they're going to have a better place to go to when you're gone.
Arnold?
Hi, my name is Arnold. I'm a new property owner in Claremont, but I'm not here because I want to get mine. I'm here because you know, it makes me angry to see people get screwed.
Louder.
And because you know, I have unborn children that I want to make the world a better place for. I think that this is a great. The Occupy movement is great in the sense that it makes us the white elephant in the room for government and for Congress, and that can be a conduit for all of us because we all kind of have the same values, even if we have different means of getting to it, creating a better world. And my proposal would be to start by simply every one of us here taking an action to do one small thing to this space, so that we engage, we become engaged, and we create the world we want to create here. Whether you write a poem or you write a diatribe on war, or you paint a picture, we build on this. So it communicates to the rest of Claremont, and it gets us all engaged and gives us something to do.
All right. Mike?
Hello, my name is Mike. I live here in Claremont. To me, a core problem or reality is bubbles, and that it's assumed that we're just supposed to ride the tide when they come in and when they go out. And what I'd like to see is like a really effective early bubble warning system. And there's a lot of smart people in Claremont, and we all write wherever we write. And I think like the human microphone, it should work. It should reach people soon enough to do something about, because the bubbles are going to happen no matter what.
Al?
It's an honor and privilege to be here. I've been here over 100 years. My ancestors have been here in Turtle Island since the beginning of time, Native American. What we need is a paradigm shift, not based on politics, but on morality. And that morality should be based on two different things. Number one, in the sacred circle, no one is special, because the most intractable problem we still have in the United States is one of racism. Mind you, the recent verification of all the kitchen workers at Pomona College, they're losing their jobs based on their color of their skin and their undocumentation, okay? So no one is special, we're all equal. Number two, the paradigm shift should involve one of morality. And that morality should not be based on dualism, right, wrong, because that's a politics of fear where we demonize each other. It should be mindful of what we Native Americans have used as our moral base for many years, and that we have to be mindful of the 7 generations. What are we going to leave our great-great-great-grandparents that still have to come up from Mother Earth here on Mother Earth? What are we going to provide for our children? That's a question we need to ask ourselves, and that's based on what Jimi Hendrix said, because I grew up in the 60s, and I still remember the 60s, okay? Jimi Hendrix said this: when the love of power exceeds the power of love, then humanity is exceedingly in trouble. I hope.
Thank you for those words. In our community, I think just you brought up a great thing about racism, that racism still is an issue. And actually this Wednesday, Condoleezza Rice is being paid anywhere from $70,000 to $150,000 to come speak at Claremont McKenna. And that is a ridiculous amount of money for a war criminal. And people use Condoleezza Rice to say that we live in a post-racialized and post-sexualized society, which is untrue. So a lot of the people in the colleges and community members have been uniting to do teach-ins and counter-demonstrations to say that we don't want her to come speak, and we don't want our tuition dollars being used to pay someone like that. We're not trying to say that she doesn't have a right to speak. We're just saying that she is a war criminal and that people forget that we are in these occupations. So this Wednesday at 4 o'clock at the Joint Science Centers on the Claremont colleges, we are meeting, we're making signs, and then we are marching over there and having teach-ins, and the community can come speak. It's not just for students. We'd love everyone to come. So that's something that we've been working on. We've been having film screenings to lead up to this, and we want to continue these film screenings and unite the whole community and make it accessible, because the college does have resources, but the community as a whole has resources. Speaking of that, Pilgrim Place every Friday at 3:30 meets on Arrow and Indian Hill to protest the wars that we are still in, and that's a huge thing that I don't think a lot of people realize until they drive by. And I think bubbles are a huge thing, that we have so many different aspects of community and so many people that can come together to unite, and we are uniting here, but the connection is not totally there all the time. And I'm proposing that we create an in-reach group. So as us as a community, we can have these ties of communication and know about events that are going on and know about how we can help out in different ways. So if you want to be part of an in-reach committee, the in-reach Claremont and local area, I'm going to be meeting after this, and I guess I'll meet on the where all those yellow signs are. But thank you guys for coming out so much. I really appreciate it.
I put my cell phone stack a while ago, I promise I'm not jumping in. Anyway, I'm Mark again. Sorry.
Mic check.
Anyway. Alright, I'll talk louder. So, I've been listening to what people have been bringing up here, and I've heard like a few things that we've kind of kept coming back to, and the two main ones that I'm really hearing a lot of are that we should be supporting our local economy through supporting small businesses and asking larger chains to leave, and also by supporting unions. That's a little bit more contentious today, but those are just a couple things I'm hearing. And also that we should be going into the city council and using that, our organ of local government, to try to get a resolution supporting Occupy Wall Street and resolution to repeal Citizens United. So these are a couple specific actions that I'd really like us to start thinking about how we can follow through with. So if we can, I don't know, if we can maybe start some committees to meet about that after this meeting. So if people are willing to stick around for a few minutes to decide on a meeting time after today for maybe like a local economy support group, something like that. I don't know what it's going to be called exactly, but if people can talk about that after the meeting, that'd be great. And yeah, go back to the stack. We have Doug.
Thank you. My name is Doug. This is Bambi. If we do not overturn, or the Supreme Court does not overturn Citizens United, I believe our democracy is finished. There is supposedly there's a false equivalence going on between the Tea Party and the Occupy movement. I would say you could boil it down to this: the Tea Party claims that they were inspired by the salt spray of Boston Harbor, but Occupy is being inspired by the pepper spray at UC Davis. If you like that, there's more on Funny or Die. Doug's doesn't. Serious point, though. If we succeed in overturning Citizens United, it will be because we overcome tremendous forces. So please be brave and be strong. Thank you.
My name is Ilian, and I am from Sri Lanka, and I have been in this country for the last 20 years, and in this city of Claremont for the last 9 years. I have to mention that it is very imperative, it is very important that we all get together today like this and protest against the injustices that is happening. I urge every one of you to bring